Hello and welcome to Marianna High School. I know you're excited to be here and we're excited for you to come. Today we're going to look at what you need to do in order to select your classes for next year. Now if you'll remember when you came over for Academy Day and for this showcase, for the Marianna High School Showcase, we gave you a packet of papers that included a lot of things that we're going to be looking at today. First of all, we've got the 24 credit plan. Remember, this is a summary of the things that you're going to be needing in high school. We've broken it down for you by 9th grade. So the 9th grade classes are the ones that we're going to be focusing on today. Hopefully you've looked through the packet, you've read the frequently asked questions about the course selections, and maybe that's already answered some of your questions for you. If not, we'll go over some of it again today. And we're going to be selecting 7 classes for your schedule. Hopefully you have already received in the mail your acceptance letter for those classes that you applied for. I know you turned that in back in February, and so now we're going to look at, and I've given an example here, and we're going to say that our student Tanya was accepted and applied for and accepted into the Culinary Arts Academy and the Health Science Academy. So having a check mark by those things, those are the things that this student can apply for, but it's not required. So these are the things that she is now eligible for. So let's look and see how we're going to take this and all this other information, and we're going to select your classes for today. So with your paper, and I suggest that you do this with pencil, not pen. You're going to change your mind, so make sure that you're marking everything with a pencil. And that way when you change your mind, you just erase and you can go on from there. All right. We are going to attach, or we have attached for you, a sticker in the upper left-hand corner that's going to have your address. Make sure, first of all, that your address is correct. This is where we're going to be mailing your schedule over the summer, and we want to make sure that it gets to you. So make sure that your address is correct. If it's not, simply mark it out and write in the correct address. If it changes between now and summer, please make sure that you talk with your data entry lady in the front office and make sure that your address is correct before you leave for the summer, or call up here during the summer and let us know where to mail your schedule. All right, so looking at this, we're going to make sure that you have 7 classes on your schedule before you leave today. First of all, we're going to have English, and the first 3 classes that we have listed are your core classes. We have English 1, we have Access English, English 1, and Honors English. Talk to your teacher, make sure that you're requesting the right one. If you're not sure which class to select for your core classes for English, Math, and Science, talk with your current English, Math, or Science teacher, and they can help you make the right selection. We want to make sure that you're in the right class as far as level of difficulty goes. We don't want you overwhelmed, but we do want you to be challenged. So make sure that you're talking with them. Also talk with your parents. Make sure that you're selecting classes that are appropriate for you. So circle 1 English class, whether it's English or English Honors, is where most of our students will be taking. You can either take Algebra 1, Algebra 1 Honors, Honors Geometry, or Algebra 1A. Make sure that the Algebra 1A, we're going to make sure that students in there have always had a lot of difficulty with math. These are mostly going to be maybe some level 1 students, but what Algebra 1A does is it takes all of algebra, and it takes the first semester of algebra and it breaks it down and does 1 semester of algebra in 1 year. Then in the 10th grade you would take Algebra 1B, which is the second half of algebra, the second semester of algebra, and teaches it over 1 year. And you would not take the algebra end of course exam until after you've completed Algebra 1B in the 10th grade. So this is going to be algebra at a lot slower pace. So again, we need those students in there that have a lot of difficulty with math. All right, and then on down to science. We're switching up our science classes. Historically, we've offered biology in the 9th grade, but now we're going to be offering physical science. So again, physical science and honors physical science are going to be your choices for that. Physical science is very much math-based, so what we recommend is that if you're in an honors math class, either honors algebra or honors geometry, that you would be able to handle the honors physical science. If you're in a regular math class, then you would take the regular physical science, because there is, again, a lot of math in that science class. So those are your 3 core classes. Now we're going to go down to class number 4, which is your PE requirement. And notice that we have it broken down into 2 different categories here. The ones that you're going to notice on the left-hand side, this is PE classes that are taken in combination. So this would constitute a full year's worth of a class. If you want to take PE and personal fitness, remember both of these classes are required for graduation. Personal fitness is going to be more of a computer class, book class. It is our online requirement, or it helps to meet your online requirement for graduation. If you want to take personal fitness and PE together, you're going to circle that first number up there. And that means that one semester you'll have PE in the gym, one semester you'll have the personal fitness computer class requirement that's met. If you want PE both semesters, then you're going to take that second class, and that would put you in the gym both semesters. Or if you want to take PE with driver's ed and take personal fitness later or at a different time, and we'll discuss those requirements later, then you would circle that next one down there. You would have driver's ed one semester and PE for another semester. Make sure that you're putting on there the day that you turn 15, so that we'll know whether we need to put you in driver's ed first semester or second semester. To take driver's ed the first semester, you have to already have your learner's permit by September the 15th, 2016, in order to take driver's ed first semester. To take driver's ed second semester, you would need to have or be 15 by January the 15th of 2017. If you're not 15 by those days, then you might want to wait and take driver's ed maybe your 10th grade year. Okay? The last thing down here is for athletic PE. The athletic PE will be with a coach. You will need to be on the coach's list, and it is not for every athlete of every sport. It's just going to be for certain ones. Athletes that would need to sign up here, and again, you'll need to be on that coach's list. Football for boys. We'll have basketball for boys. We'll have softball for girls and baseball for boys. Also, cheerleaders would be able to sign up for an athletic PE. And we'll make sure that you're on the list and that you end up with that coach. Okay? So that's where you would take those. If you're wanting to take just one of these classes, maybe you're wanting to take it in combination with an academic class at the bottom, then you would sign up for one of the classes over on the right hand side. Notice that they're in a different font. So anything that you're taking that's a little bit different, you're going to take something from one place and something from another. You're going to take 2 one-semester classes. Make sure that their font matches, and you're going to notice that all of these have a different font. Just to show you some from the bottom, the Intro to Music Performance is a one-semester class. Also, the First Aid, the Food Prep, and also the Family Dynamics. All of those are one-semester classes, and so if you circle one of these, you would need to make sure that you're circling 2 of these. Maybe you want to take personal fitness with your Intro to Music Performance. You would circle the music performance and then the PE in the gym that's up here, or the personal fitness that's up here at the top. So make sure if you're circling something from the right-hand side at the top for the PE, you're also selecting a one-semester class from somewhere at the bottom to take with it during that same period during the day. We won't swap classes from one period to another once your schedule is set here. We can't swap periods come second semester. So make sure that if you're in a semester class, you've got another semester class to back behind it somewhere. All right, so there will be your PE requirement, one of these classes. The 5th class that's required is a performing fine art. And notice that we have those broken down at the bottom. There are some performing fine arts that you can take that you don't have to have any approval in order to take the class. You just sign up for it. We make sure that it gets in your schedule as best we can. Choir, speech, music of the world, computer classes, CCC, that's the Computing for College and Careers, and then also the Intro to Music Performance. And again, that is only one semester, so if you're selecting that, make sure that you're selecting another semester class to go with it for the other semester. Performing fine art classes that you need approval to go into are band, concert band, percussion, musical theater, drawing, and then design services core. The musical theater class we have just that listed on there. But you can also be in show choir, both girls and boys, or girls and the mixed show choir. Just circle that one. Whenever you try out later in the year, Ms. Harlow will make sure that we get the list of who's going to be in which class, and we'll make sure that you're not in musical theater if that's not what you tried out for and made. We'll get you into the class that you made, and so we'll make sure that it matches up. This just lets us know that this is something that you're wanting to have in your schedule, and you do plan on trying out for some of those classes. The drawing class, again, you will have talked with Dr. Benton, and she'll give us a list of those students that she's allowing to go into her drawing class. So if you did not talk with Dr. Benton, please make sure that you're not signing up for the drawing class. Design Services Corps is one of those classes that you would have applied for, and it will have been marked on your acceptance application, and it will say Fashion Design, sign up for the Design Services Corps, and that's the class that you're going to request right there. And that is a year-long class. So make sure that you're selecting one from this area for your Performing Fine Art requirement. The last two classes are classes that you can choose just at random. Maybe there's something on here that you would really like to take that doesn't require pre-approval, like geography. You might want to go ahead and take a geography class. Just because you've got one Performing Fine Art doesn't mean that you're limited to only one Performing Fine Art class. You can take multiple. You have to have one Performing Fine Art class in order to graduate. We want to make sure you have at least one of those. You can have 2 or 3 in your schedule. All right, so these are your classes. And by the way, all engineering classes do count as Performing Fine Art classes. So if you were accepted into the engineering program, that can count double duty for you. It can count as an elective for your Performing Fine Art requirement, but also it's one of those academies that you've applied for, and you can take that for your Performing Fine Art and still get into 2 other classes that you want to take. Maybe driver's ed might be one of your electives for 6 and 7. Maybe driver's ed with your first aid class or something along that line. So make sure that you've got 7 classes circled on here. Again, if you selected a 1 semester class, make sure you have another 1 semester class listed with it. You also need to, at the top, put 2 alternates. Understand that just because you've selected these 7 and that you've been accepted into the classes doesn't necessarily mean that whenever we work out the master schedule that you'll be able to get all of your 7 first class choices that you want. We want to make sure if there is a conflict, maybe you're in band or dance line, and that's the only time that maybe a first aid class is offered, then we want to know, okay, which one of these do you really want to have better? So whenever you circle those classes for those electives for 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, go ahead and number those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that we know if it's a number 1, that's the first one that you want to be in. If you have nothing else on your schedule, that's the one you want, and we'll make sure that you're in that one. Then we'll drop something that's a little bit lower on your schedule, and we'll go to the alternate that you have listed up here and make sure that you're in that. We want you to have alternates up here because we don't want to just put you in a class and then find out you're not interested in that at all, and then you're not happy, and then we're not happy. So make sure that you're listing alternates up here that you're willing to take and keep for the year. So make sure that you've got 7 classes listed, 1 for each of these categories, and you also have 2 alternates up here so that if something doesn't work in your schedule, we can go back and put those in there. If, for instance, maybe you applied for an academy and you decided you don't want it necessarily, but you're willing to take it as an alternate, you might want to list that up here if it's something that you're kind of thinking maybe not quite so much about. Okay, so that would be a good alternate. But again, don't list it unless you've been approved to go into the class. I hope this helps you with selecting your classes, and we will be there on March the 21st and 22nd to make sure that we pick up the classes, make sure you've got everything there, and if you've got extra questions then, we can answer them then. Y'all have a great day.